Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Lisa Warner, and I'm the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing, which I wrote after I healed myself from cancer without using the medical model, just using my body's own ability to heal itself. And I am here with three amazing women who are all about self-empowered healing. And we wanted to share our messages with you today to help you realize that you have the ability to heal yourself, to bring your body back into balance. And today I am here with my friends, Deanna Hansen, who is the founder of Block Therapy. And she has created an incredibly simple and profound healing technique by using an amazing block of wood. And Miss Melissa Deely is an integrative health practitioner, and she helps her clients by leading them through detox programs where they clear out the toxins from their bodies and bring everything back into cleanliness and wholeness. And Katie is here with us today, who has participated in all of our programs. So she's going to give kind of the bird's eye view of what it's like to participate with each of us and how she has taken her health into her own hands by utilizing the tools and techniques that all three of us offer. So Deanna, would you like to start us off and let us know what you do?
Absolutely. Before I do that, I just want to share how excited I am to be here with all of you. First of all, health, it takes a bit of an army. There's a bunch of perspectives and different components, and we're all approaching health from a certain facet. So to be able to combine the complementary aspects of bringing all of these things together is truly profound. I can't wait to hear what Katie has to say about that. But a little bit about me, a little bit about block therapy. So I started developing block therapy about 10 years ago, but it was actually about 21 years ago that I really dove into understanding the fascia system, firstly using my hands. And I developed a system called fluid isometrics, which I've taught to therapists to work on patients with. Block therapy is actually the self-care version of that. We target the fascia system, and the fascia I've really come to understand is an incredible system which connects every single one of our trillions of cells together. So to really make this connection, it gives us the understanding that we have to approach the body as a whole, because there's cause sites to our pains and suffering. So fascia basically innervates every single cell in the body, nerve fibers, blood vessels, muscles, everything. It's all fascia based. And what is so fascinating about the fascia is it's here to protect us. So gravity combined with unconscious posture and breathing over time basically pull and twist the body down in a forward rotational direction. Essentially, we get shorter and wider as we age. But if you understand how to take care of the fascia system, we don't actually have to allow the aging process to happen in the way that we understand it. And one of the things to understand most importantly is the conscious diaphragmatic breath, because pain, fear, and stress all cause us to reactively hold the breath. Understanding this mechanism and how to override that is key to creating a completely different process of aging. And I don't want to take up too much time, but I just want to share a little bit about the breath and how significant this is. If you were to blow up a balloon fully and completely, it would be nice and round, it would glow, and it would almost defy gravity. When we are conscious breathers 24/7, lifelong, we keep our cells inflated so that we can essentially glide through life and not have gravity manipulate us. However, when we're not conscious breathers, we actually start depleting our system of oxygen. And think of taking half of the air out of a balloon. It becomes wrinkled. It can accumulate dust and debris in the creases. It becomes heavy. That's what happens to the cells as we age if we're not conscious breathers. So to be able to address the fascia system, ultimately release the adhesions that are holding us out of alignment and bring the breath into action, it truly is a game changer for reversing what aging has done to us, for chronic pain, for understanding how to manage a healthy size and shape, even getting rid of built up trauma and negative emotional patterns in the body. So that's just a little sampling of what block therapy does. These are the tools. They're actually made from bamboo. The reason being because fascia will grip and adhere to bone, holding us out of alignment with a force up to 2,000 pounds per square inch. These are made of bamboo because they're similar in density to bone, so that we can really get to the root of the issue, release those adhesions, and bring the body back into balance.
Wow, that's amazing. I've been doing block therapy for a couple of years now, and the results have been really quite spectacular. Had an amazing time. And I know, Katie, you've been doing block therapy as well.
I have, yeah. I found Deanna through an alternative medicine group online. And I knew a little bit about the fascial system. I'd been doing some foam rolling for a few years, and I knew that that was beneficial to my body. And I had been diagnosed with a connective tissue disease 10 years prior. And I knew that the fascial system, the nervous system, the circulatory system was all in need of a lot of attention in my body. Honestly, I didn't know exactly what block therapy was when I ordered it, but it was just one of those just ding, 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 little like intuitive hits. It was like, this, you have to order this. So I ordered both the blocks, the baby block and the original buddy block that Deanna just showed us. And when I received it, I was literally, I had pain from the top of my head to the tips of my toes. But the main issue I was dealing with was this chronic neck pain. And I started on the block, and it was an interesting sensation. It takes some getting used to really melt into it and to feel into it. But I knew that this was my path to actually healing my neck pain. I had done a lot of other modalities that had, limited improvement time, but the pain persisted. So I knew I needed to find something that was actually going to heal this. And through Deanna's excellent instruction and just encouraging instruction, I kept going, I kept with it. And I started with the 90-day program, and that starts with the feet and it works its way up through the body. And I loved how she said, before we even get to your upper body pain, you're going to notice improvements up there because it's all connected. And she was so right. By the time I was moving up my legs, I was noticing this is better. So I kept going. It was really good. The other really important thing that Deanna says is that we're not fragile. We think, especially with neck pain and things, we feel like this is just really a fragile area, and we tend to kind of hold it really tense. And that was such a relief for me to hear her say, get into it because you're good. This is a very strong part of our body. So I've had so many releases on the block. I have laughed. In fact, just a week ago, I was blocking my psoas, and I had one of those laughing releases, which is very interesting when you're working on the psoas. But I was just crying. I was laughing so hard. I have felt nauseous on the block. I have felt calm and peace on the block. I have released so much. I've had amazing gushes, like warm, watery gushes through my body. It's been incredible. But the other interesting thing is I didn't realize that blocking was so tied to the emotions. So I've had these physical releases, but I've also had amazing emotional releases. Blocking unwinds time, and it really gets everything out. So it's been an incredible gift. I'm so grateful to Deanna. I tell my friends about it. I often refer to it as a revolutionary therapy because it's amazing. So, and also Deanna's nephew Quinn, who does the demonstration and goes through the entire class with us, is so motivating and fun, and they're a great team. So it's been really wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you, Katie. That's amazing to hear. And yeah, Quinn is a little sweetheart.
Yeah, he is.
Not so little, but
not so little.
No.
No, not so little.
I start almost every single day with Deanna and Quinn in my living room. I love starting my day with block therapy and just breathing and integrating and really taking the time to get into my body. And we all know that these poor bodies go through the ringer in this world, that our bodies are under attack from all kinds of toxins and pesticides and chemicals and frequencies and all kinds of things going on. And detoxing our bodies is really, really important to be able to clear out these toxins from the body. So Melissa, do you want to talk a little bit about what it is that you do?
Sure. Thank you very much. And thank you, Katie, for that wonderful review of your block therapy experience, and Deanna, to your explanation of what you do. And I do love that we've been all brought together because our work is so beautifully aligned. And so I too am honored to be here and be working with all of you ladies. And I want to continue the conversation that you started, Deanna, talking about the anti-aging benefits, et cetera, because that's what everybody wants, right? They want to live, feel younger, have more energy, feel healthier, but they don't necessarily know how to do that. And unfortunately, in our world where we're at right now, we have 42.4% of our North American population is obese. We have 1 in 3 people dying of cancer. We have a 25-fold increase in diabetes in the last 80 years. And we have 1 in 3 also dying of heart disease. So we are in a very sick world, unfortunately. And all of these are chronic illnesses, which is an umbrella term for lifestyle diseases, meaning that if we knew how to change our lifestyle, we could reverse those diseases, as Lisa did for her own cancer. And those numbers are shocking to me. And I don't say them to scare you, but if you're here because you care about your health and because you want to learn what you can do about your health. And the great news is there is so much that you can do and take into your own hands and be empowered in your own health. And the reason for that is the science of epigenetics, which is relatively new in the last 10 years. And what we now know is that only 5 to 10% of your health outcomes are due to your genes. That means 90 to 95% are due to the environment you create inside your body by the lifestyle that you live, which means in 90 to 95% of the cases, you are completely empowered in creating your health outcomes. It becomes a choice. You just need to know that it's a choice and that you have the power to create the health outcomes that you want. And somewhere along the way, I intuitively knew that 7 years ago when I was let go from my corporate job and I was figuring out what I wanted to do next. And I came across a company that specialized in brain health supplementation. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I use my brain 24/7. And nobody's ever told me that I could do more to support my brain. And I knew that there was near epidemic Alzheimer's and dementia over here. Well, wouldn't they like to know about supporting their brain more? And I knew I had a grandmother over here who was 99 years old, still living at home by herself, fully cognitively functioning. And I thought, I want to get on her path. And I have good genes, clearly, but is that enough? And that was the question I intuitively knew to ask myself, is that enough? And I started comparing her life, born in little old Christchurch, New Zealand, in the bottom corner of the world, growing all their own food on the property before all the toxins we have in our world today, to my life, growing up in Tokyo, Japan in the 1970s during the height of manufacturing plants spewing out toxins, realized I'm way more toxic than my grandmother was. I'm behind the 8 ball. If I want to get on her path, what more do I need to do? And I started learning about the brain. I started learning about toxins and how they affect our body and our health. And I went back to school to become a health coach and integrative health practitioner. Fast forward to now, as Lisa said, I guide people through detox programs in order to release the toxins from our body. And you might think, well, I have a liver and kidneys. They do that. Why do I need to do anything? And you're right. You do have a liver and kidneys, and they are designed to do that. However, they weren't designed to deal with the deluge of toxins we have in our world today. 144,000 introduced since World War II, chemical toxins. That's not even factoring in heavy metal toxins, et cetera, et cetera. And they're getting into our body through our waterways, our airways, our food, through the personal care products that we're putting on our skin. And then our liver gets bogged down. It can't do its job properly, and it can't clean your blood every 6 minutes the way that it's supposed to. But it's very smart. It stores your toxins in your fat tissue to prevent them getting into your bloodstream. And the reason that it can't do its job properly, aside from that overburden of toxins, is that it's undernourished because we have depleted soil systems in our world today. And the nutrients needed to help the liver complete phase 2 of detoxification, which is what actually gets them out of our body, aren't in the soils, so they're not in our food, and therefore we're not getting them into our bodies. So we have overburdened and undernourished liver and kidneys. Now, I don't know about you, but I truly believe that all of those chronic health issues that I mentioned at the very beginning, we wouldn't have them in our world today if we all learned how to detox. They still detox in Ayurvedic medicine in India. They still detox in Latin American cultures. They still detox in Asian cultures to this day. It's just in the Western world where we've been raised to believe we shower and we wash our outer body, and that's enough for good health and good hygiene. But it's not, because look at where the chronic illness is in our world today. It's in the regions of the world where we haven't been taught the importance of detoxing. If you were to shift your mindset into considering your health your greatest asset, like all of us in this Zoom room believe it to be, you would start looking after your body better. You look after your house, you buy your house, you take the garbage out, you vacuum, you clean, you renovate, you repair things. You look after your car, you take it for regular services so it never breaks down. What do you do for your body? In today's world, your body needs servicing too. We're unfortunately in a place where we can no longer avoid the toxins. We can make better choices to reduce the load that's coming in, but we simply can't avoid them. So we have to help our body remove them. And that's what I teach people how to do. And I absolutely love this work because my program, it's just 3 weeks long. I'm not asking you to do some extended, super long program that you're never going to be able to commit to. Although I know 3 weeks can sound scary, but because I offer a really high level of support, every single person I've ever guided through this program has had incredible results, whether it be improved sleep, better mental clarity, less brain fog, whether it be less aches and pains because their inflammation levels are coming down. I've had so many people say, I feel better than I ever remember feeling. And when we detox, part of the process is fasting. And that comes back to Deanna talking about anti-aging. Because when we fast and we do it properly and we're nourishing the body while fasting, and yes, there is a way that you can do that, you are actually getting rid of old dead cells, regenerating new healthy cells. And that is an anti-aging process in and of itself. It's been known or called the secret of anti-aging. So you can combine this with Deanna's work, with Lisa's work, and absolutely be empowered and regain your health.
Beautiful. And Katie, you've done Melissa's program.
I have, yes. I heard about Melissa, I think it was last November, December. And I had another big intuitive hit. It was like, I can't expect my body to return to its original blueprint of health and well-being without offering it lots of love. And those detox pathways have to be highly functioning for that to occur. And so to continue with my amazing work that I was doing with block therapy and the releases of all kinds I'm having there, and the work I'm doing with Lisa, it was just very clear to me that a detox program made perfect sense. It just needed to happen. And this felt like a very safe and supportive and loving place to go through that type of experience. So my husband and I, along with a group of lovely women, went through Melissa's 3-week program in January. And we were motivated by her every step of the way through the app and the weekly calls and the group chats. We were all very connected and supported lots of information, lots of good recipes. The entire process was just, it just flowed. And my husband and I absolutely felt clean and clear, honestly, before the program was over, but as we got to the end of the program, it just felt like those garbage cans were empty, just like Melissa talks about. Everything was flowing. And since then we've continued to follow many of the things that Melissa suggests throughout the program, including a weekly fast. We do fast 1 day a week, and that my digestive system loves that weekly fast. It's just a time to rest. It's a rest time and to get rid of whatever is accumulated from the week before, and no cooking and no dishes on that day are beneficial too. Like that part of it as well. It's been a really great experience, and we're actually going to have our first quarterly detox coming up here in a couple of weeks, just a 1 week detox, and we're planning to continue this for forever, for the foreseeable future, because it really has improved my energy and my sleep and everything I do in life. So it's been great. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Well, thank you, Katie. And I loved guiding you and Jonathan through the program, and the results that you experienced and the way that you've embraced this as part of your lifestyle. Because as I always say, we don't just detox once and think we're good forever. We're not. We have to keep doing it because the toxins keep coming in and we need to keep them getting back out. But the more we do it, the easier it is. And when we're listening to our body lets us know that we love it, because I'm like you and I do a weekly fast and my body loves that day. I did a weekly fast day yesterday. And so your first quarterly detox is coming up soon and you'll love that as well. Yep. And I promise you that is even easier than the 21 day.
Yeah.
You'll feel like, whoa, it's over already.
Yeah, it was a great experience. I'm eager to do it again. So it's not scary. It seems a little scary in the beginning, and it's really not. And especially with all the support you offer, it's a great program.
Well, thank you very much. I do like to try and make it easy for people. I want my clients to succeed. So
I think I should jump in here and introduce Lisa, because now it's your turn to share. And I remember when I've had both Melissa and you on my discussions with the Fashion Masters, but Lisa, your story is truly phenomenal. What you were able to overcome on your own, and the world needs to know this. So share your story.
Oh, well, thank you. I grew up as a healthy, fit athlete, but I never fit in anywhere in the world. Everything that I knew was a little bit different than what everybody else around me seemed to know. And I was just struggling with life. And the more I struggled with life, the less fit and healthy I became, until finally I ended up facing cancer. And I was a mess. And I knew that chemo and radiation and all those, the medical model was just simply not right for me. Mm-hmm. And I knew that my body was out of balance because I was out of balance. I knew that we are body, mind, and soul. And I knew that my mind was not thinking the same thoughts that my soul would be thinking. And I knew that that's where my problem actually was originating. I knew that I needed to get myself back on track. And I decided that I was going to learn how to heal myself, because I knew that if I knew how to heal myself, then I would never be at the mercy of any disease ever again. And since we are body, mind, and soul, I knew that the soul holds all of the answers. So I started to get quiet. I started to go within and I started to ask, what do I need to know about this? And finally, once I got myself quiet enough so that I could actually hear what my soul had to say, the information came directly in and said, Lisa, you're not being attacked by anything. Your body is responding to your emotional state. And your body is literally trying to help you. And when you get out of the way, your body is going to heal itself. And in that moment, I understood clearly that disease is not what's happening to us. It is what is happening through us. And our body, every single thing that our body does is biologically meaningful and purposeful. And we are simply being taught that we need to fight whatever shows up in our bodies. And this is not the way to live our lives. From my perspective, there is far too much fighting in the world. And it is so commonplace that we don't even think about it. But I decided to think about it, and I decided that I was not going to fight my body, that I was going to allow my body to do what it does best, and that is heal itself. So this is what is available to all of us. It only took a shift of perspective. It only took me looking from a different point of view. And it was simply because I didn't go the pre-paved medical route. I decided to kind of bushwhack and find my own path. And when I went in a different direction, I saw a different scene. So Wayne Dyer always says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And when I changed the way I looked at cancer, cancer literally disappeared from my reality. It does not exist in my reality any longer. And I understand now why our bodies do that. So now I help my clients learn how to heal themselves by changing the way they look at their bodies and disease, and utilizing all the tools that we have available to us to take our health into our own hands. And I've been very fortunate to work with people like Katie, who have had some significant shifts in their perceptions and their health.
Yes, it's been really such just an amazing gift to work with Lisa. And I found her through Deanna's Fascia Masters conversation about a year ago. And in that conversation, Lisa talked a lot about what she just said. She talked about our truth as the soul, and how, the societies of the world that we're all a part of, that we all grew up in, they've created this constriction within our being to the point that we don't know that we are the soul anymore. We think we're just a mind and a body, and we're basically a persona or an ego and a body, and we'll meet up with the soul at some other point after we pass away. And really, what this mind that's been trained like this has done has created this wedge. There's just this wedge between the body and the soul. And guess what? The body responds by all kinds of things, but a lot of times illness or dis-ease, as it did in my case. And our fascia constricts, and all of these things start happening based on these limitations that have been deposited within us our entire life. So having been diagnosed with that disease a decade earlier, and listening to Lisa speaking with Deanna and Quinn, I was immediately very intrigued and very inspired by her story of healing cancer naturally. And the other interesting thing was, though, that it was so familiar. What she was saying just felt right. And I just had this sense that I'd been duped, that we'd all been duped, And I remember having that feeling when I received, sitting in that medical office and receiving that autoimmune diagnosis. I remember feeling like, this is an untruth. There's something not right about this. But even though I've been doing a lot of spiritual healing work, I had a lot of knowledge in a lot of areas. I couldn't get all the pieces to come together until I started working with Lisa, and all of a sudden, all those pieces fit. And I could see from an overview, a grander overview, what was happening. And it's a little bit shocking at first. It takes some processing to realize what we've been taught isn't exactly reality. It's one form of reality, but it's not ultimate reality. So, where I think of Deanna's blocking as unblocking the physical vessel, allowing for flow within the physical vessel, I really think of Lisa's teachings as unblocking the mind, the restrictions and the adhesions, blocking the truth of who we are as the soul. So it's been just incredible working with Lisa. She's, I'm a highly sensitive person, and I've taken on energies my whole life that I didn't really understand that I was doing and holding on to them. And she's taught me so many incredible, very simple energy tools that everyone should know, especially if you're a highly sensitive person. And she just has an incredible knack for saying things simply and to the point, and just making it very easy to take in. So having these energy tools, understanding what's happening here on Earth, having this bigger, grander overview of the disruption between the soul and the body and how it's affecting our health, how this is so vital to our health, and understanding this has just changed my entire perspective. It's literally changed my whole life. It's changed how I trust my own intuition and my own inner knowing, because it always leads me to the right place. I mean, I'm sitting here with the three of you amazing women because of my intuition. And so I've come so much further on my healing journey in the past year than I did in the entire, 9 years previous. So it really is just a matter of tapping into these truths. And I think that this is such a beautiful triad of healers right here with healing the body and the mind, getting that soul back together with the body. I just am profoundly grateful. I think of Lisa as my grand angel teacher. I really do. I'm so grateful for her boldness and owning her sovereignty and stepping forward to help others like me find our truth and own our own sovereignty. So it's been a really wonderful experience working with Lisa and Deanna and Melissa. Thank you. Namaste.
If I may jump in, Katie, I just want to share our immense gratitude for you trusting us and putting the time and the effort into applying our modalities. And you are absolutely beautiful, radiant, healthy. And the way you speak and you share this, you really are a template for the possibilities of when people really want to make change to their bodies, of what can happen and what you can do. So grateful that you took the time to bring your perspective and to show what combining different modalities with the same mindset that all truly tap into our innate potential to heal ourselves, what that can do, and to share that with everyone. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
And I'd love to say thank you as well. And just kudos to you for trusting your intuition and not second guessing it. And then being a leader too, because I know you started this journey, but you've brought your husband into it. And then I know that you share it with your community and your friends because you have a great big heart and you want to help them as well. And that's how we reach more people, is through, people that have worked with us like you that are then sharing it with others. And so I'm very, very grateful for that as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm happy to share. I will shout this from the rooftops every day, all day.
Well, we're super, super grateful for our clients like you and for each other. We're so blessed to be, to have been brought together, and that all of our modalities work so beautifully together, and that there are so many things that each and every one of us can do to take our health into our own hands. We don't have to each have all of the answers, but together we can all find all of the answers that we need.
Wonderful. Well, for all of you listening, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that each of you will take this and you will start realizing your innate power to heal yourselves. And thank you guys. I'm just, again, so blessed and honored to be part of this amazing group of women.
Beautiful. So Deanna, do you want to say how people can find you?
Yes, blocktherapy.com.
Great. And Melissa?
As for people watching, you can see behind me, yourguidedhealthjourney.com.
Beautiful. And for me, it is connectingyoutoyou.com. So if feel free to reach out to any of us. We're all here to help. So we want to see you empowered.